This conference will now be recorded.
Now, so in the previous session, we have discussed about the security overview, and we have discussed so what exactly the security features in Salesforce, and why should we go for security in Salesforce, how Salesforce is maintaining the security between the records from organization to organization and from user to user within the organization. We have discussed. Now, so now today we'll see the licenses. Like whenever if any of the user wants to access my Salesforce record, then first of all that user should be added. We need to add that member as a user inside the organization. Only the Salesforce users can able to access the records. Only the Salesforce users can enter into my organization and they can able to access my application, they can able to access my records. Other people can't access it. So whenever if any of the user wants to access my records or my data, if they want to enter into my Salesforce organization, first of all, they should have a license. Whenever if any of the user wants to enter into my Salesforce organization to access my applications, my features, my objects, my fields, my records, and anything, then first of all, they should have some license. So what exactly the license describes? License is going to be describing, so which users can access what features. Which users can access which features of the organization will be decided by the license. Like for example, come to a general scenario. Assume that we have a car. Okay, we have a car. So whenever if you want to drive the car on the road, then we should request a license, right? Yes. Without the license, we can't drive the vehicle on the road. When you try to drive the vehicle on the road, the police people, traffic police people will catch you. They will charge some fine because illegally you are going to be driving the vehicle on the road. You don't have the proper permissions. You don't have the proper license. So in this case, okay, like the similar way here also, whenever if any of the user wants to enter into my Salesforce account, he may be either a partner, he may be a end user, he may be a customer, he may be employee, he may be anybody also. If any of the user wants to enter into my Salesforce organization, then that user should have a license. Now, so in this case, when coming to the users, each and every user should have a license. Mandatorily, every user should have a license. Now, for example here, okay, for example, assume that I have a car. I have a car inside a family. So in that family, we have 4 members are there. So now tell me how many licenses are required. One license is sufficient for all the 4 members to drive the car on the road? No, we are having 4 members are there, like as father and the mother and a son and a daughter. So these are the 4 people are available here inside that family. So they have a car, only one car is available. So now all the 4 people know how to drive the car. They know the driving here. So now tell me how many licenses are required? 4 licenses. Father should require a separate license. Mother should have a separate license. Son should have a separate license. And then daughter should have a separate license. Totally 4 licenses they need. That means all these 4 people are belongs to the same family, even though they belong to the same family. So whenever if they wants to drive the car on the road, then they should have a license. The person who is driving the vehicle, that person should have a license. Without the license, they can't drive the car. Like the similar way, even though if you're having 100 users who wants to access my Salesforce applications, who wants to access my Salesforce data, 100 users should have their own licenses. Each user should have a license. Without the license, the user can't enter into my organization. User can't log in into my organization. They can't access my application. They can't access my record. They can't access my features. So that When coming to the license describes which features can be accessible by the users. Which features can be accessible by the users that will be decided by the license. So license is exposing some set of features to the users. So each user should have a separate license. Okay, each user should have a separate license. Now, in this case here, license describes a set of features to be get accessible by the user. Okay, license describes a set of features to be get accessible by the user. Each user should have a separate license. Each user should have a separate license so that they can log in into the organization and can access the features, can access the applications, features, records. Okay, now, so now here in this case, when coming to the license, Salesforce is providing various types of licenses. Salesforce provides various types of licenses. Every user should have a license. This is a mandatory thing. It's a mandatory thing. Without the license, you can't create the user record. That means you can't add the user without the license. Without the license, we can't add a user in Salesforce. We now have to add the user. Compulsorily, every user should have a license. That license will decide what features that user can access. Like for example, assume that I have the license. What is the driving license I'm having? I'm having two-wheeler license. Then what we can drive? Only two-wheeler vehicles. When I'm driving that four-wheeler vehicle, the police people will catch me. For example, I'm having four-wheeler license is there. Then I can drive two-wheeler vehicles also, four-wheeler vehicles also, both. That means what? That each and every license type will decide which features you can access. So that here, as part of Salesforce, Salesforce is providing the various types of licenses. Salesforce provides the various types of licenses. First one is Salesforce license. This is also called as full license. This is also called as full license. Second one, platform license. Third one, chapter free license. And the fourth one, customer community license. Fourth one, customer community license. Like that, here various types of licenses are available in Salesforce. So when coming to the license, each and every license describes a set of features can be accessible by the users. Each license can be providing some set of features can be accessible by the users. Now, when coming to the license, each and every license is going to be providing some set of features which can be accessible by the users. So as part of Salesforce, Salesforce is providing the various types of licenses, like as Salesforce license, which is also called as full license. This is also called as standard license. Next, platform license. And then we have charter free license, and then we have customer community license. Like that, we are having the various types of licenses are available as part of Salesforce. So Salesforce license is granting the access on some set of features. Platform license is granting the access on some different set of features. Charter free license is granting the access on some different set of features. Customer community license is granting the access on some different set of features. So that here, when coming to the license, each and every license is granting some set of features which can be accessible by the users. Now, in this case here, when coming to the Salesforce license, what exactly the Salesforce license? Salesforce license is also called as full license, which will be granting the access on all the functionalities over here. Now, so Salesforce license is nothing but the full license which will be granting the access on all the functionality in Salesforce, which will be granting the access on both standard functionalities and custom functionalities. So which will be granting the access on both the standard functionalities or custom functionalities. That means what are the standard applications that we have? We can able to access standard applications, we can access custom applications, we can access standard objects, we can access custom object, we can access standard fields, custom fields, standard features, custom features, everything we can able to access by using the Salesforce license. So Salesforce license is nothing but the full license. It's nothing but a full license, okay, which will be granting the access on all the functionalities of Salesforce, including both the standard and custom. Every functionality we can access by using this Salesforce license. So the users who are having the Salesforce license, they can able to access all the functionalities of your Salesforce application. Like as all the applications you can access, including standard and custom, all the objects you can access, all the fields you can access, all the features you can access, everything we can access by using this Salesforce license. So with the help of the Salesforce license, we can grant the access on both the standard functionalities and custom functionalities also. Now, the next one, platform license. So platform license is granting the access on only on customer functionalities. So platform means what? Okay, custom functionalities, custom features. So the platform license is granting the access on purely on custom functionalities, like as custom applications, custom objects, custom fields, custom features you can able to access, including some of the standard objects in Salesforce, some of the standard objects like as account and the contact and the document, task, and the event. Remaining objects can't be accessible by using platform license. So platform license is purely concentrating on custom functionalities. For example, custom applications, custom objects, custom fields, custom features, and along with few standard objects of Salesforce like account, contact, document, task, and event. These are the various functionalities we can access. So that platform license is purely granting the access on custom functionalities like as custom features. What are the custom applications you have built, the custom objects, custom fields, custom features which are configured, everything can be accessible like as Apex classes, Visualforce pages, triggers, batch programming, schedule programming, web services, everything we can able to access by using this platform license. So platform license is granting the access on all the custom functionalities which we have. Next, charter-free license. Charter-free license is granting the access purely on the charter functionalities. Okay, it is purely granting the access on charter feed. It will be granting the access on purely on charter feed here, so that the people can able to have some conversation with the help of some charter messages. With the help of charter messages, they can able to communicate with each other. With the help of charter messages, they can communicate with each other over here. So for that reason here, we are going to be using this charter-free license. And the customer community license. So now in this case, when coming to the customer community license, it is granting the access on the community portals. It is granting the access on community portals. In order to access the community portals like as customer community or the partner community portals, we are going to be using this customer community license. These are the various types of licenses are available in Salesforce. Then where we can see all the licenses information. So here also, now whenever if you want to add a user inside my current Salesforce organization, I need some licenses. Without the license, I can't add the user in Salesforce. Without the license, we can't add the user in Salesforce. So compulsorily, every user should have a license. Without the license, we can't add the user. But for one user, we can't assign 2 licenses. Okay, for one user, we can't assign 2 licenses, and for one license, we can't assign 2 users. Every user should have a separate license. User to license is one-to-one association. One user and one license. Second user, second license. Third user, third license. Like that, multiple user depends upon the number of users that we have. Those many number of licenses that we should have. Now, in this case, where all the licenses information will be getting resides. So all the licenses information will be getting resides. Licenses information will get resides inside the user license object. User license is a standard object in Salesforce where exactly all the user licenses information will be getting resides. So what are the licenses that we have in our Salesforce instance? All the licenses information will be getting resides inside an object called as user license object. Now, in this case, where we can see the licenses. Now, suppose for example, right now inside my organization, we are having only one user, but I want to add some more users. Then how can we add the users inside the organization? How can we add the users inside the organization? So whenever if you want to add the user, we need some license, right? Yes, we need some licenses. Now we are using free developer account. We are using the free edition of Salesforce. Then, so how can we buy the licenses? Do I need to buy any licenses? No, not required. Salesforce has given few free licenses to you in free developer account also. In free developer account also, Salesforce has given few free licenses. Okay, Salesforce has given some free licenses to you in free developer account also. What kind of licenses Salesforce has given? Okay, the Salesforce licenses also. How many? 2. Salesforce has given 2 Salesforce licenses inside your free developer account. That means with these 2 licenses, we can create 2 users. Next, the platform licenses. How many? 3 platform licenses have been given by Salesforce. So with these 3 licenses, we can create 3 users. We can add 3 users inside my organization. Charter free licenses. How many? 5,000. Salesforce has given 5,000 charter free licenses. With these 5,000 licenses, we can add 5,000 users who can access only charter feature. Customer community licenses, 5. So that Salesforce has given 5 customer community licenses through which we can add 5 community users over there. So even though if it is a free developer account, in free developer account, Salesforce is providing some set of free licenses to us. So how many number of Salesforce licenses are? 2. Platform licenses, 3. Charter free licenses, 5,000. Community licenses, 5. So these are the number of licenses has been given by Salesforce inside your free developer account and free of cost. So now here in this case here, okay, now here in this case. Now, charter free license is granting the access on only on charter feature, not applications. We can't access that applications, we can't access objects, features, nothing, only charter feature. Community licenses will be granting the access on only on community portal, that's it, not on application, not on features, nothing. So that here, so now with this 2 Salesforce licenses, with these 3 platform licenses, we can have 5 users inside our Salesforce account. So in our Salesforce account, we can have totally 5 users. So from those 5 users, 2 users will be having Salesforce licenses, 3 people will be having platform licenses.
Can I ask you a quick question, sir? Sir, can I ask you a quick question?
Tell me, madam.
Yeah, now 2 and 3 have specified here. So what is the criteria behind giving it to only 2 people and 3 people?
No, there is no criteria behind this one because in Free Developer Edition, Salesforce has given 2 Salesforce licenses, 3 platform licenses. There is no criteria behind this.
No, criteria in the sense, if many people want it, what is the basis on which you'll give it to only 2 people? That's what I'm asking.
In this case here. So in this case, coming to the Salesforce depends upon the number of users how to buy those many number of licenses. But the 2, we have to identify which features we would like to grant the access. Based on that, we have to check the suitable license and we have to buy those licenses. But in this case, as part of the Salesforce instance, they have given that 2 Salesforce licenses so that 2 people can have the full access on the complete applications, all the features of Salesforce. One person can be working like as admin, second person can be working as sub-admin also, no problem. We can able to add. And then remaining 3 people we can able to add like as users. They can able to access only custom functionalities. Okay, so whenever you are working as a Salesforce administrator inside your organization, if a new member has been joined into your organization, like as a new customer or a new employee, at that time, then for this employee, what is his designation, what kind of features he needs to access inside my organization, we will identify based on that which license will be suitable, then we will assign that license to the user. This is the criteria we have to identify. So whatever the features you would like to grant the access on the organization to the users, we have to identify which license is suitable. Suppose if you want to grant the access only on the custom application, then you can go with that platform license. If you want to grant access on both the standard and custom, then we can go with Salesforce license. Like that depends upon the features which you would like to grant the access to the user. We have to decide which license is suitable over there. Okay, now. So in this case, as part of this Salesforce free developer account, we have 2 Salesforce free licenses are available on free, and then 3 platform licenses are available, 5,000 charter free licenses, and the 5 community licenses are available. These are the available licenses in Salesforce. Now, then where we can see all these licenses information. Suppose, for example, today I want to add a new user. Then how do we know whether license is available or not? If the license is available, then only we can able to add the user. Then how can we do that here? Now let me explain. If you want to see all the licenses information, if you want to see all the licenses information, then simply we can go to that setup menu. Go to the setup menu. Go to the setup menu. Go to the administrator menu in the left panel. Click on company profile. Go to the company information. Go to the company information. Inside that, go to that user licenses section. Go to that user licenses section. Company profile, go to the company information, go to the user licenses section. Now, so go to that setup menu, go to the administrator menu in the left panel, go to that company profile, click on company information link, and then you will be having a section called as user licenses section. Here we can verify how many licenses has been given by Salesforce by default inside my organization, how many licenses we have used, how many licenses are available, when the license will get expired, we'll see practically. Now, so let's see how can we verify how many number of licenses are available inside the organization, how many licenses we have used, how many licenses are still available, and then when the license will get expired, what is the expiration date of license, we'll see practically now. Now, let's go to our Salesforce instance. So let me go to my Salesforce instance.
Sir, can we customize licenses?
Sorry?
Can we customize license?
That means customizing in the sense what you want to do.
Like giving access to limited, like taking Salesforce license, but giving access
We can
to
do.
limited.
We can do that. I will tell you that next concept. Okay. After this one, give me some time so that we can understand that. Okay. Now, so if you want to see all the licenses available inside your organization, simply we can go to this navigation process. Click on Setup menu. Go to the Administer menu in the left panel. Go to that company profile. Click on Company Information link. Here we can see your organization details. Here we can see your organization details. When you come down here, we can see the user licenses section. In this user licenses section, we can see how many licenses have been given by Salesforce, what are the various types of licenses are available inside my organization, how many licenses we have used, how many remains, when the license will get expired, we'll see that information. So these are the various types of licenses that we have in Salesforce, like a Salesforce license, Salesforce platform license, customer community login license, XR proxy user, worker.com, customer portal manager custom, identity, customer community plus, okay, silver partner, gold partner, like that. If you want to see remaining licenses, you can see, click on go to list 22, we can see all the licenses information. So in this case, it is clearly,
like you said, I just have one question. Like you said, the license to person ratio is like admin ratio is 1:1, right? So
yes,
admin
right.
can have all the licenses here, or any
Yes,
one?
because no, admin can able to see all the information. He can't use multiple licenses. Okay, he can't use multiple licenses. He will be having one license with them, and then he can able to control all the other users also. Okay.
Oh, but how is it possible if admin cannot control that? How is it? It doesn't actually make sense to me, because if he has to have multiple, if he wants to go to the community group, right, community license, if he wants to use the charters, he doesn't have, if he can choose only one license for himself.
In that one here, you can able to see. So inside this Salesforce license, you will be getting all the functionalities, everything.
Okay.
Standard, custom, everything.
Okay.
But this charter free license will be granting only on the charter feature.
So
customer community license will be granting license only on community.
Yeah. Salesforce admin will be having the Salesforce license, and the rest he will be assigning to others, right?
Yes, right. Okay, he is assigning based on the user type, based on his designation, he will be adding the respective license to the user.
Okay, thank you.
Now, so now here in this case, we are having the various types of licenses are available. So it is clearly indicating that how many number of licenses are available, total number of licenses has been used, how many licenses are remains, when the license will get expired. Here we don't have any expiration date. Why? Because that already told you whatever the account that you have created, okay, it is a permanent account which will not be getting expired. Okay, which will not be getting expired, so that here we can able to access this account lifetime. That's what there is no expiration date at all. When you go to these licenses, we have Salesforce licenses. How many? 2. Platform licenses, how many? 3. Customer community licenses, how many? 5. And then charter free licenses, when you verify this one. Charter free licenses, how many? 5,000. Like that, Salesforce is giving you free licenses to you here. But in this case, when you go to this particular area licenses, now when you come to the Salesforce licenses, we have 2 licenses. From this one license is in used, one license is remains over. Okay, now who is using this license right now? One license is in using status here. Who is using that? Because upon creating the Salesforce account, I have entered some details in the registration form, right? That user is using this license here. So one Salesforce license is in use and one license is in remains over here. So in this case here, whatever the user, that means whatever the Salesforce account we have created in our starting class, upon creating that Salesforce account, we have given that user details right in the registration form. With those details, it is creating a user record, but that user is assigning the license over here. So one Salesforce license is in use, and then one license is in remains here. Platform licenses, all the three are free, and the platform licenses are also free. Everything is free right now. Nobody is in use over here. All the licenses are available. With this platform license, we can create 3 more users. With this additional Salesforce license, we can create 1 more user. That means we can create 4 more users inside my organization. 1 user with the Salesforce license, 3 users with platform license right now.
Sir. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello? Very good.
Hello. Hello.
Connection. Network connection.
Hello.
Now, so now let's see in this case here. How can we use these licenses right now? So now we are having one free license, one Salesforce license is available, and then we have 3 platform licenses are available. So with these licenses, we can create 4 users right now. Okay, we can create 4 users with these 4 licenses. Totally, we have 5 licenses are available over there. Totally, we have 5 licenses are available. 2 Salesforce, 3 platform. So from this one Salesforce license is in use and 1 license is remains, so that it is available, so that this license we can assign to the user as well. Now, so now here in this case, when coming to that licenses, so these are the various licenses are available. All these licenses information will be storing inside an object called as user license object. So user license is a standard object in Salesforce, so which is used to store all the licenses information. Okay, now, so this is how we are going to be assigning the licenses to the users. Now, so when coming to the license here, for example, let me explain one more small concept here, which is most important. Now, for example, assume that I have 5 licenses. Okay, I have 5 licenses of type what? Salesforce. All the licenses are Salesforce licenses. I'm having 5 licenses, for example. For example, I have an organization. I'm having my organization. This is my Salesforce organization. Now, I'm having my Salesforce organization. In my organization, assume that I'm having 5 Salesforce licenses are available. In my organization, I'm having 5 Salesforce licenses are available. Salesforce licenses means what? Which will be granting the access on full functionalities, like as all standard, all custom, all the functionalities the people can able to access. So they can access all the standard applications, custom applications, standard objects, custom objects, standard fields, custom fields, standard features, custom features, everything they can access. Like as admin, like as admin. So I'm having 5 Salesforce licenses are available. So these 5 licenses, how many users we can create now? By using these 5 licenses, how many users we can create? 5 users. Because each user should have a separate license. Okay, each user should have separate license. So 5 licenses are there. We can create 5 users inside my organization. So I'm creating the users right now. I'm adding some users. I'm adding some users. I'm adding some users. So this is the user one, first user. Here's the first user. So now for this user, I'm assigning a license. Okay, for this user, I'm assigning a license. 1 license I have assigned. How many licenses are remains now? 4. Because 1 has been assigned, so now 4 are remains here. This is the license 1. For example, this is license 1. License 1 has been assigned to that user 1. He is a user 1. User 1. Like the similar way, I'm adding 1 more user over here. I'm adding this another user. User 2. For this user, I have assigned another license here. For this user, this is the user 2. For the user 2, I'm assigning 1 more license. This is the second license I have assigned. Okay, this is the license 2. License 2, we have assigned to that user. Next, I'm adding 1 more user. User 3. I'm adding another user, that is user 3. So now this is the license which I have assigned to this user. License 3 I have assigned to that user 3. This is the license 3. How many licenses are remains? 2 more. Because 3 we have used, 2 remains. Now here I'm going to be assigning, I'm adding 1 more user. So in this case here, for this user, I'm assigning that another license. This is the license 4. Okay, license 4. This is the license 4, and this is the user 4. User 4 is having that license 4. And then I'm adding 1 more user here, user 5. I'm having this another user, user 5. So for the user 5, I'm going to be assigning that another license. This is the license 5, and then I have assigned to that user 5. Okay, user 5. So now tell me how many licenses are still remains? 0. All the licenses are used. No available licenses. So we can't add any more users. Now, in this case, what happened? Whatever the licenses that we have, with these licenses, I have assigned to the users. 5 users I have created. So license 1 has been assigned to user 1, license 2 has been assigned to user 2, license 3 has been assigned to user 3, license 4 to user 4, license 5 to user 5. So for each and every user, we have assigned a separate license. So all the licenses are full. We have used all the licenses, no licenses remains. Now, so we can't create any more users right now. So we can't create any more users inside our organization right now because all the licenses are full. Now, so now here in this case here, for example, all these licenses will be of type what? Salesforce. What Salesforce license will grant the access? Salesforce license is granting the access on all the standard functionalities and all the custom functionalities. It is granting the access on all standard functionalities and all custom functionalities. So user 1 is having Salesforce license, user 2 is having Salesforce license, user 3 also same, user 4 also same, user 5 also same, because all are Salesforce licenses. So I have assigned these 5 Salesforce licenses to 5 users. So all the people will be able to access all the functionalities. So user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, user 5. All these 5 users can access all the functionalities of Salesforce, all the applications, including standard applications, custom applications, standard objects, custom objects, standard fields, custom fields, standard features, custom features, everything. User 1 will be having the complete access. User 2 is also having the complete access. User 3 also having complete access. User 4 also complete access. User 5 also complete access. So every user will be having the access on all the functionalities available inside your organization. Now, from this one, what is my requirement is, so whatever the users are available, from these users, for the user 1 and the user 2, I want to grant the access on only on standard functionalities. Only standard functionalities. That means they can access only standard applications, standard objects, standard fields, standard features. That's it. Not custom. For the user 3 and the user 4, I want to grant the access on only on custom functionalities. Okay, I want to grant the access on custom functionalities. So they can access only custom applications, custom objects, custom fields, custom features. That's it. Not standard. For the user 5, I want to grant the access on both the standard and custom functionalities. Then what we can do? How can we restrict? Okay, how can we restrict that? All the 5 users are having Salesforce licenses only. All the 5 users are having Salesforce licenses only. So in this case, user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, user 5, these people will be able to access all the functionalities, including all standard, including all custom, they are able to access now. But now my requirement is for the user 1 and the user 2, I want to restrict the visibility. I want to restrict the access of the features up to only standard, not custom. User 3 and the user 4 should be able to access only custom functionalities, not standard. For the user 5, I want to grant access on both the standard and custom. Then how can we do this? Now, then what we can do?
Roles and permissions.
Now, in this case, when coming to the Salesforce, in between this license and the users, we have a mediator component. That means we are going to be introducing a mediator component. Between this user and the licenses, that means the organization, we are introducing a mediator component. We are introducing a mediator component that is called as profile. Okay, that is called as profile. We are introducing a mediator component called as profile. So I would like to have a profile. Okay, I would like to have a profile. So this is the profile 1. This is the profile 1. Profile 1, which will be granting the access on only standard functionalities. Only standard functionalities it can able to access. It can able to grant. it can able to grant only on standard functionalities. And then I will tell you what is a profile. We'll see. So now between this user 3 and the user 4, we are going to be having a separate profile. I would like to have a mediator component called as profile. Okay, now. So here I would like to have one more profile here. So this is the profile 2. This is a profile 2. So now this profile is going to be granting the access on only on custom functionalities. Only custom. It will be granting the access on only on custom functionalities. Next. Now for this one, we are having another profile is available. One more profile. We have another profile. This is the profile 3. Profile 3. This profile is granting the access on both standard and custom. Both the standard and custom functionality. So that here, now when coming to this profile 3, it will be granting the access on both standard functionalities and the custom functionalities over here. It will be granting the access on both standard functionalities and the custom functionality. That means what? Between the user and the licenses, we have introduced a mediator component called as profile. So now, like for example, assume that. Let me explain a general scenario so that we can understand more. Assume that today I have joined into a company, some TCS. Okay? Assume that today I have joined some TCS company because I got an offer in TCS, for example. So today is my onboarding date. So I'm done with all the onboarding formalities. So HR people has allocated one ID access card to me. ID card, it will take some time to prepare the ID card. So they have allocated one access card. So what is that access card decides? What is that access card indicates? Access card is nothing but a permission so that we can enter into the TCS company premises and then we can utilize all the resources available inside the company. Like inside the TCS company, we are having, because we can enter into the organization premises, we can go to the cafeteria also, we can go to the cubicles also, we can go to the workstations also, we can go to the conference rooms also, everything we can able to visit. Now here in this case, if you want to open the door, then we have to swipe that card in front of that small machine so that it will be verifying your credentials based on that door will be getting open for you. So that means what? Even though you may be an employee also, what are the access card that we have? That access card will decide which resources we can use over here. Up to what level we can utilize the resources. Now, by using that swiping card, by using that access card, I can able to enter into my organization premises. I can go to the cafeteria. I can go to that cubicles also. I can go to the workstations also. I can go to the conference rooms also. For example, I'm going to that server room. In front of the server room, I have swiped that card. Will it be will the gate be getting open? No, it won't get open here because I'm not in a system administrator. I'm not a network administrator person. I'm just a normal developer, a Java developer, Salesforce developer, whatever. So for me, I don't have the access to enter into the server room. When you swipe the card in front of that electricity room, I can't open. It won't get open here. That means what? You don't have the access on that. That means what? That access card will decide what to what level we can utilize the resources inside the company. In that company, you will be having so many resources are available. Up to what level we can utilize, that will be decided by that access card. So in the access card, they are going to be indicating the permission. Like for example, assume that in my company, so along with me, some network administrator person is there. He is also having access card. He can go to the cafeteria. He can go to the cubicles. He can go to workstations. He can go to conference room. He can enter into the server room also. But I'm not able to enter. Because in his access card, he is having the permission. In my access card, I don't have the permission. That means like the similar way, even though all are employees, we can differentiate the access by using access card. Like the similar way, even though we all are users, we can differentiate the access by using profile. So when coming to the profile is a mediator component between user and the organization. So now in this case, when coming to the license is granting the full permission to you, all the applications, all the objects, all the features, everything. But which application you can access, which features you can access, which objects you can access, that will be decided by profile. In this case, when coming to the profile, what the profile described, basically, when coming to the profile is nothing but a component which will be deciding which features can be accessible by the user. So what features this user can able to access, that will be decided by the profile. Then what kind of permissions we can grant through the profile. Profile will decide what applications you can use, what objects you can use, what fields you can access, what page layouts you can access, what record types you can access, what tabs you can access, and then what password policies can be applicable, and then what session settings to be applicable, what login hours to be applicable, and what login IP ranges will be applicable, what Apex classes you can access, what Visualforce pages you can access, and then what named credentials you can able to access. Everything will be decided by the profile. When coming to the profile decides which features you can access. Even though you may be having Salesforce license also, which features you can access, that will be decided by your profile itself. Now, for example, come to a general scenario, simple concept. Assume that today I got a lottery of some 10 lakh rupees. Okay, so today I got a lottery of some 10 lakh rupees. So immediately, what is our reaction? Immediately we are praising the God. Oh, because of God, I got 10 lakh rupees. Suppose today I lost some 2,000 rupees. What is our reaction immediately? We are blaming the God. Oh, because of God, we lost 2,000 rupees. That means what? If you got something, we are praising the God. If you lost something, we are blaming the God. That means here, because of God, you are getting something, you are losing something. Like the similar way here also. So profile is like as a God for the user. If you are able to access some feature, because of profile. If you are unable to access the feature, because of profile only. Okay, so in this case, when coming to the profile decides what features the user can access. Okay, profile decides what features the user can access, that will be decided by profile. Through profile, what we can do with the help of the profile, we can grant the access on applications, we can grant the access on objects, we can grant the access on features, we can grant the access on the fields, we can grant the access on record types, we can grant the access on page layouts, we can grant the access on the tabs also. We can grant the access on general permissions, system permissions, custom permissions, session settings, password policies, and the Apex classes, Visualforce pages, named credentials, connected applications, external data sources, login hours, login IP ranges, everything we can grant through with the help of profile. So through profile, we can grant the permissions on these many number of features here. That means it's like as a remote control. It's a like as a remote control, which is used to control which user can access what feature. Whether this user can access this application or not, we can control here. It's like as a remote control. Everything will be, we can control by the administrator over here. So in this case, whenever if you want to create a user, along with the license, we need a profile also. So that, now it's a common question in every interview. In order to create a user record, what you need? We need two things over here. One is license, second one is profile. Okay, one is license, second one is profile. Without these two, without any one of these, we can't create the user record. These two are mandatory things. Upon creating the user, license is mandatory, profile is mandatory here. Now, in this case here, observe this one. When coming to the license is nothing but, profile is nothing but a component which contains some set of permissions which can be assigned to one or more users. Because both are in the same designation. So for this user also same permissions I need to grant. For this user also I need to grant the same permission, so that same profile we can assign to both the users also. Okay, the same profile we can assign to both the users, but one user should have only one profile, not multiple. Observe the relation over here. Profile to user 1-to-1. Okay, so the profile to user 1-to-many. One profile can be assigned to multiple users, but one user can have only one profile over here. So now profile to user one-to-many, user to profile one-to-one association. One user can have one license, one profile, not multiple. Salesforce won't allow. So that here for a user we can assign only one profile, only one license, not multiple. So in this case, when coming to the profile, profile is nothing but a mediator component between the user and the licenses. Okay, profile is nothing but a mediator component between the user and the licenses. So that here, when coming to that user, a user should be associated with only one profile. But one profile can be assigned to multiple users also. Then what we can do with the help of profile? Profile is nothing but a mediator component between the user and the license. So which is used to decide which features can be accessible by which user. So now we can able to grant the permissions to the users with the help of this profile itself. So through profile, we can grant the permissions on applications. We can grant the permissions on objects, fields, page layouts, record types, tabs, and the general permissions, system permissions, custom permissions, administrative permissions, and the external data sources, session settings, password policies, login hours, login IP ranges, and the Apex classes, Visualforce pages, named credentials, external data sources, and all the features we can grant the permission through a profile. So profile is a mediator component, which is the base where exactly it's like as working like as a remote control where we can control the visibility of the user here. Everything we can control through the profile itself, so that one profile can be assigned to multiple users, but each user should be associated with only one profile. Now, so in this case, all the profiles information will be storing where? All the profiles information will be storing inside an object called as profile object. Profile object. All the users information will be storing inside that user object. All the licenses information will be storing inside that user license object. Okay, now observe this one here in this case. Now here in this case, what happened? User is associated with profile. Profile is associated with the license over here. User is associated with profile. And the profile is associated with license here. Okay, now, so in this case, what is the association here? So for one user, one profile we can assign. So now here, one profile will be associated to, okay, one profile is associating to this license. This profile is associated to that license. What type of license? Salesforce license here. So this is Salesforce license. Now, so in this case, what happened with the Salesforce license type, we can create multiple profile. This is one profile, this is another profile, this is another profile. But the license type will be of what type? Salesforce license. So that here, license is only one, profiles are multiple. So that here, each and every profile is associated with a license, but with one license type, we can have multiple profiles also. That facility is available. So, license to profile, and then profile to user. We will be seeing that observation. Now let me explain. So in this case here, so one user should be associated with, okay, one profile. Okay, now, so each profile should be associated with one license. Now, so now one license will be having multiple profiles. One profile can be get assigned to multiple users also. Okay, multiple users also. This is the association. User to profile, one-to-one. Profile to user, one-to-many. Profile to license, okay, one-to-one. License to profile, one-to-many association. This is the association that we have between the objects. These are all the standard objects in Salesforce. So whenever if you want to create a user record, we need two things as mandatory. One is license, second one is profile. Without any one of this, we can't create the user record in Salesforce. These two are mandatory things. Then where we can see all these profiles information, how many types of profiles are available in Salesforce, everything we'll see in tomorrow's session. In tomorrow's session, we'll see the detailed information of profiles again, and then we'll see that how to create our own custom profile. We'll see practically in tomorrow's session. and then we'll see once the profiles are ready, then we will go with the user management concept over here. Then how can we create the users? Okay, by allocating the license and the profile, we'll see practically in tomorrow's session. Okay.
Sir, I still have not